Today, we're diving into a book that has genuinely changed millions of lives. Based on ancient Toltec wisdom, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a pretty wild idea from the book. It says that our entire reality, everything we see and hear right now, is a dream. Not just when you're asleep. This waking dream is what our minds do 24/7, and it shapes everything we think we know.
But here's the catch. This dream we're all in, well, it isn't always a good one. The book calls it the dream of the planet. It's this huge collective reality built on society's rules and beliefs, and it's a dream we're living in based on agreements we never even consciously chose to make.
So how do we get here? How did we learn to dream this way? The author uses a really powerful word for it: domestication. Just like you train a dog, we were trained as kids. Our parents, our schools, our religions, they taught us with a system of punishment and reward. When we followed the rules, we got praise. When we didn't, we got punished. And this creates this deep, nagging fear of being rejected just for being who we really are.
All those rules we learned, they don't just disappear. They get written down in our own personal book of law. It's this internal rule book that's packed with every single belief we have about what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad. And it runs the show, judging our every move, usually without us even noticing. Now, this book of law creates this really destructive team inside our heads. First, you've got the inner judge. Its job is to enforce all those rules, and it finds us guilty anytime we mess up. And then, you've got the victim. That's the part of us that takes the hit, carries all the guilt, and truly believes, I'm just not good enough. It's this endless cycle of self-punishment for rules we never even agreed to. And what's the result of all this inner conflict? The Toltecs have a word for it: the metote. Seriously, picture 1,000 different voices all shouting at once inside your head. Nobody understands anybody else. It's just chaos. That's the human mind. It's this thick fog of confusion that makes it almost impossible to see who we truly are underneath it all.
Okay, so if we're all trapped in this crazy, chaotic dream of suffering, how in the world do we get out? Well, this is where the book gives us a toolkit, and it's surprisingly simple, but incredibly powerful.
Here's the thing you have to get. All of our personal power, our energy, is being used right now just to keep these old fear-based agreements in place. But we can consciously choose to break them. We can take that energy back and use it to build a whole new reality for ourselves, one that's actually based on self-love.
And these are the tools to do it, the four agreements. Each one is designed to stop that cycle of self-judgment, to put an end to all that needless suffering, and to build up enough personal power so you can completely transform your life stream.
All right, let's break these down. What do these four powerful agreements actually look like in practice?
The first agreement is called the most important for a reason. Your word is pure creation. It's like magic. With your words, you can either build the most beautiful dream you can imagine, or you can create a living hell.
Now, to be impeccable literally means without sin, but we're not talking about some heavy moral thing here. In this context, a sin is just anything you do that goes against yourself. So being impeccable with your word means you stop using it to judge yourself, to gossip, or to blame others. You stop using your creative power to spread what the book calls emotional poison.
The second agreement, this one is your shield. It gives you complete immunity to all that emotional poison from other people. It literally makes you immune in the middle of hell.
And this leads to such an incredible freedom. When you really truly get that what other people say and do is a projection of their dream, of their beliefs, you can no longer be hurt by what they think. It doesn't matter if they insult you or praise you. It was never about you in the first place. It's about them.
All right, the third agreement. This one is all about getting rid of the drama we create in our own lives, just from simple misunderstandings. I mean, think about how much we suffer just by assuming we know what someone else is thinking, and then we take that assumption personally. The solution is so simple, but it takes real courage. Just ask questions. Keep communicating until you know the actual truth, instead of making up a whole story in your head. And the final agreement. This is the one that really makes the other three possible. It's about taking action, and it helps turn these ideas into actual habits that stick.
And this is not about being perfect. Your best is going to change from day to day, even moment to moment. Your best when you're sick is different from your best when you're healthy. The whole point is to just give your best effort in whatever situation you're in. When you do that, your inner judge has nothing to attack you with, and you can learn from your mistakes without any of that shame or regret.
So, what happens when you actually live by these agreements? What's the ultimate result? Well, it's nothing less than a total transformation of your reality, of your personal dream.
See, when you practice these agreements, you stop feeding all that fear, drama, and self-judgment. You basically starve it out, and you transform that old dream of hell into your own personal dream of heaven, a reality that's full of joy and love and peace and freedom. And that's really the core message, isn't it? We are not victims of our reality, we are the creators of it. The book makes it crystal clear that suffering is a choice, but so is happiness. By changing the agreements we live by, we can actively choose a completely different experience of life.
This isn't just a cool idea to think about. It's a practice, something to live. And it all starts with just being aware and making a choice to change. So that leaves us with one last big question for you to take away. Looking at your own life right now, which one of those old fear-based agreements will you be the first to break?
Hi, I'm Dominic. It's really nice to have you here on my channel. It means you want to invest your time in wisdom and self-development. If this video was helpful, consider subscribing to the channel and thumb up. I'll leave the link to purchase this book below in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.